Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome to the bonus video for Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So it's kind of weird doing a bonus video for this because this game like literally just came out like 6 months ago, so it's almost a year now. Holy crap! It's a little weird because there's not a whole lot of information about it, other than like what you've seen and what you played. So pretty much everything I'm about to go over is pretty much all there is to say, and has been said to death. So, and if you probably already know about it, so I don't even know. But every single Let's Play series has a bonus video, so I gotta do it. So, post game, there's nothing else. I did every single thing that you can do in the game. There's no DLC, nothing. That was the entirety of the game. There's nothing that I missed out on. However, I will transition now into the multiplayer, which is there's kind of like a post-game thing there. So if you want, you can like merge these two sections together, because there's actually a lot more information in the multiplayer section. So there are two types of multiplayer. Co-op. There's co-op mode, which is like in the same room, and if you want to see like a full playthrough of that, check out my second channel where I have the supercut of not only my personal Let's Play series, but also our multiplayer Let's Play series. And if you want to see it more episodically, you can check it out over on my Crazy Cab Studios channel, where me and the boys literally sat in person for 12 hours and played the entire game. So check it out if you haven't seen it, but it's a lot of fun. So couch co-op mode is very similar to how you've experienced it in the past 2D Mario games from Wii onwards. However, there's a lot less interactability. The only amount of interactability that you have is when you die, you turn into like a little ghost instead of a bubble, and you can touch the other players and you can get respawned. And then if you hold X, you can actually get your secondary power-up. This allows you to have 4 slots of power-ups, and I believe every person shares the same amount of lives. So unlike New Super Mario Bros. Has different lives. It's more like 3D World where you share lives. So the only thing that you don't share is the power-ups. Everyone has a pocket power-up, but it's not individual, so it kind of like goes in order, similar to 3D World as well. So when you hold X, it pops up in a bubble above your head instead of directly giving you that power-up, which means that little bubble can actually be taken by another player. When you're in couch co-op mode, you also have access to the multiplayer races, which get unlocked after you defeat certain levels in the game, and you can go back to those levels and do a multiplayer race. We actually have an in-depth video on that in regards to the online portion, which I'll get into in just a second, on our Patreon. By the time this video goes up, that will also be up on our Patreon as well. So check out our Patreon for Crazy Cat Studio down in the link in the description below. We post a lot of great content on there, and you might even be able to see a couple of our podcasts early. So check out that video check out that link in the description. It'll take you to the Patreon, and just at the $1 tier, you'll be able to see this video. And this video basically describes the multiplayer racing in depth. And certain levels have it. It's really cool that you can race against your friends and the Wiggler, so you can do that as well. But you can do this in co-op, and you can do this online, which is a great transition to the online section. The online section, going back to the co-op, sorry, there's no, other than that, there's no other interaction that you do. You can't pick each other up or touch each other or anything, so just keep that in mind when you play the game. But online. So there's actually an online mode in this game, and it's not like the online from 3D World on Switch. It's actually a way worse version of it. There's a reason why we had a co-op version. And so to simply explain online versus co-op is more like a multiplayer experience, whereas online is like a single player experience enhanced with other players. So every single person is still playing a single-player campaign, which means they're not interacting with your world. They're just ways for you to interact with other people. Like, for example, if you're in co-op, everyone can collect the 10 coins. Anyone that's near the 10 coin can collect it, and it'll be on your profile. Whereas if you're online, everyone has a different 10 coin, and you're playing the game single-player with multiplayer online elements. It's kind of weird. You can play multiplayer with a bunch of randoms, or you can play multiplayer with your friends. There's a friend room and lobby code option as well, which is what we do in our Patreon video. And yeah, so there's a couple of things that you can do. There's a big thing that you can spend your purple coins on in the game called Standees. This is a part of 100% completion for the single player, but it has more practical use in the online multiplayer. If you hold the X button, no, the Y button, you can actually emote, and you can shift the left stick up and down to kind of pick your emote, so you can actually communicate with the people that you're playing with online. But if you hold down and Y, you can actually pop out whatever standee that you have selected, depending on which character you have selected, and that standee will pretty much stay in the level during your entire online session. This standee, or other people's standees, will allow you, so if you die and you're connected online, you'll turn into a ghost just like you would in co-op. And then if you touch the standee, you'll pop and then get back to life. Sometimes I believe they kind of act like checkpoints, so you can like get a power-up sometimes, mostly like mushrooms. But otherwise, when you're playing in a level with other ghosts and other players that are in the level, if you communicate with another player, use your pocket item, they can also see your pocket item just like in co-op, and they can take your pocket item as well, which is something that's really, really cool. So let's say you see someone that's having a lot of trouble, and you know, you're just standing there as like a little, like you didn't place a standee, you're just standing there, so they die, they touch you with their ghost, they come back to life, you're like, all right, let me give you a little bit of a boost. So you send your item out, and they'll pick up the item, and then they'll be able to progress through the level. All of these interactions that you do in online multiplayer actually give you something, not just the regular high score because they cut that shit out. They give you a brand new score system called the heart point system, and some people think that part of a completionist journey in this game is to get 999 heart points. You don't have to do that. It's not a part of completion whatsoever, and it's just a fun little extra feature. It's very the way I treat it is essentially like a high score system, but if you want to treat it as post-game, as something that I didn't cover, I'm covering it now. So anytime that a player interacts with your standee, interacts with you, so them being saved by you or anything along those lines, or you sharing your power-up with them, and also by doing, I think multiplayer races give you this as well, and then touching the flagpole with other players as well nets you heart points as well. And by the time that you complete, if you play the entire game online up until starting from the point that you're able to get it all the way up to the final level in the game, you'll probably have 999 points. So if you are a casual player and you kind of sort of struggle and you just experiencing the game for fun, and if you want to 100% it, you'll probably just end up doing it by accident. However, just like me and my multiple playthroughs through this game, you will get extremely tired of grinding for standees because there's no way that a normal playthrough will net you enough purple coins for you to get every single standee the right way. Because you can gamble if you want to, because the 10 coin standee is a random roll of any of the standees, and the more you have, the less chance that you're able to get the gold standees. And if you go into the star world or the special world, you can get standees for 30 coins, which is a lot more expensive, but you're guaranteed to get every standee for the character that you choose. And so, if you don't spend your coins wisely, or i.e. you get 999 and you collect more purple coins, and you end up not getting those purple coins. So let's say, for example, you have 999 coins, you collected 10 coin, you ain't getting those 10 coins back. And when you beat the level, when you go back to that level and collect the 10 coin again, you only get 3 coins. So you lose 7 coins by doing that. And there was multiple times where I had done it in my personal playthrough, we had done it in our multiplayer playthrough. So depending on how well you manage your coins, and even if you do it really, really well, you still will have a late game grind. And I don't know what people are talking about online, saying, oh, you get enough purple coins to get every single cent. You don't. There's a late game grind, and it freaking sucks because there isn't one particular level like in Mario Odyssey that nets you a decent amount of coins. So be warned about that. And finally, the fun fact. So there's actually a few beta elements to Mario Wonder that was recently announced like a few months ago at GDC. These beta elements I'll be putting on screen right now, but they had a couple of sticky notes of different ideas for different Wonder powers, like Mario on stilts, or Mario on a unicycle, or like a puzzle system similar to like Paper Mario, or Mario on a surfboard, or like Yoshi Hungry Hippos, and lanky Mario from Mario. Well, lanky Mario was kind of in the shadow levels, but more so like lanky Mario from Super Mario Maker. And then there's another one where they tested a couple of things, where one is like, and these are like actually in game, like giant piranha plants and the run of the bulls, giant Goombas, the actual Mario surfing in game, which I really wish we got, and hopefully DLC eventually comes. I know we're not getting DLC, but that would be really cool DLC. Giant maracas, and then obviously like Shadow World, right? And then there is the last one, which was super important because they actually had gameplay footage of this, combining the elements of the like floating chain chomp heads that like eat blocks and stuff. Mario was literally turned into a giant 8-bit head of blocks, and the chain chomps could like munch on it, and if you run out you died, or you don't get the wonder seed or something. And that probably sounds a little challenging to manage that, but it would have been a really cool wonder effect. But that's crazy that there are so many ideas that they had, and not even all of them actually made it into the game. So that's pretty cool to know. But pretty much everyone knew about the beta effects. They were spread around like crazy. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed and were informed, let me know in the comments down below, or leaving a like and subscribing, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.